Hello, AHS families. Mr. Beckwith here, coming to you with our AHS Together broadcast. It's been about 2 weeks since we saw each other in this format. We hope you had a wonderful Easter and spring break together. We have some important information to share with you, and we felt that this would be a good time to connect by video and say some things in a more personal way than email. First of all, we really miss you here on campus. We've been so impressed with the way that you have responded to so many unexpected circumstances and how you have continued to teach and learn and support each other, even in different ways. I have so much hope and even excitement for our future that some think that I might be in denial a little bit. Maybe I am, but I don't think so. I recognize, and I think we all recognize, that there are sensitivities in our global, national, and local communities right now. Heavy ones, serious ones. But I think we also know that the Lord uses trial and tribulation to accomplish His work and His purposes. And I'm just so excited to see what He has in store with all of this to help us grow. Already, we're starting to see beautiful, new perspectives that we could not have imagined before, only because we didn't need to. So, for example, our families are together more. Students are becoming independent learners with keyboard courage and video courage that we never saw or noticed as much in the traditional classroom setting. In some ways, we're seeing each other for who we really are, with less distraction from the social pressures that we may have felt together. At the end of this video, we'll show you what we mean by playing for you the premiere of what we're calling AHS Global News by students for students. It'll come to you from AHS students and alumni in Hong Kong, in Italy, in mainland China. You'll recognize these faces and friends. Many of you will really enjoy seeing them, and you can see the rest of the videos from the Global News broadcast on the AHS YouTube channel. If you wait around for the end of this video, we'll also play for you a clip from a Teacher Appreciation Week video that was done for Mrs. Kay Anderson's birthday this week. She's a first grade teacher who's retiring this year, and we're just so grateful to those of you who pulled together to create that for her. We know you're doing things like this for your teachers across the K-12 spectrum. Thank you, everyone, and bless you, teachers. We love you. We're grateful for all that you're doing right now. Okay, well, let's talk about the governor's order and school closure. We know that many of you have been interested to hear how we would respond to the governor's order yesterday to keep public schools closed through the end of May, really for the rest of the current school year. As we discussed this with our administration team and with our Health and Safety Committee and with our full Board of Trustees, we decided unanimously that we should follow the governor's lead and keep our campus closed through the end of the current school year, just as public and charter schools are doing, and continue delivering and improving our online courses. This was a necessary decision. COVID-19 is a very dangerous disease. We still do not have any confirmed cases reported in our school community, but the case count is still rising in Utah County, and it is still a very serious situation in Utah and across the world. So, as necessary as this decision was, it wasn't an easy decision because of all that we know it implies for our seniors, graduation, senior week, AP tests, athletics, yearbook, and even general enrollment questions for families. So we spent time discussing each of these items, and we'd like to share some of our early thinking with you. Let's start by talking to our seniors. Seniors, we know that this doesn't feel fair, but we want you to know that we will do everything we can to come up with creative alternatives to make your senior experience as historic and memorable as it can possibly be. It already has been historic and memorable. We're going to improve upon that. Graduation will still be held. You've worked too long and too hard for it not to be held. We are talking about dates in the summer, not about canceling. If we are missing a few of you, we may need to record a few of you or include you electronically, but we will include you and we will hold a physical graduation ceremony. Senior week will happen and it will be fun. Again, we're not ready to announce exactly when or where, but we can say that even in the last 24 hours, we've had some very exciting proposals come, and we want your ideas too. We're not forgetting about you, seniors. All right, yearbooks. You will get them, and they will be awesome. Mr. Buer and a whole team of teachers are working on your yearbooks, students as well. Something tells me you'll figure out ways to get each other's sentiments and signatures into each other's yearbooks, even if you have to meet later in the summer or next year, or send thoughts electronically now and write them in yourself. We will find a way and you will receive your yearbooks. AP tests. AP tests will continue to be administered online and at home. If you choose not to take them, you will receive a refund. That's been announced by AP, and we'll make sure that will happen. But just know that the AP board has made so many accommodations, including only testing you on material covered through third term and making the questions easier and other adaptations that, frankly, we think this is a great year to take the AP exam. So go for it. UHSAA athletics and activities. These have all been canceled for the remainder of the term and until further notice. We know that's not easy news, but we are optimistic that activities will begin again in the fall. However, until we are further notified, UHSAA policies prohibit using school facilities or organizing team practices and/or team gatherings. So we ask you not to do that until they give us further notice. Keep exercising, though. You keep improving yourself personally in physical and athletic ways. We need you on these teams next year. Okay, let's talk about some enrollment trends at the school, financial aid, and refunds. First, enrollment trends. The school has seen the vast majority of families stay enrolled in AHS online courses during March and April, and the same vast majority has re-enrolled for the fall. We're grateful to you. We know that you feel as we feel that this pandemic season will pass, and we will continue in smarter and better ways on campus here in the fall. That's our hope. That's what we trust will happen. We have also had many families apply to the school for the fall, and our admissions office is busy holding virtual tours. Our AHS online classes will continue through the end of this fourth term. They are very high quality, and they include frequent and faithful connections with our students. Most schools can't do this the way that we do it. So those are some of the enrollment trends that we've seen. Now financial aid, because we know that not every household is in one of those positions that I just described about the vast majority of ours. If you are a household that is experiencing significant financial pressure and you just can't see your way through next fall or even through next month, just know that there are options. First of all, you might talk to Adam Hendrickson about financial aid for this month or next. We have a simplified, streamlined process for urgent, immediate help, and we know that there are some households who need that. Second, fill out an application for financial aid by May 1st for next year. This is for both need-based and merit-based financial aid and scholarships. Go to our homepage, click on Admissions, and then click on Financial Aid and Scholarships. Those are due by May 1st for the upcoming year. And then number 3, consider looking at some of the part-time reduced price options that we are considering for the upcoming fall and subsequent semesters. These are programs that we are proposing as a result of what we know will be the need on some families' parts for a lower priced option here. Our board hasn't approved them yet, but we trust that there will be something that we can offer to you that will be a part-time reduced priced option. Lastly, some of you have asked about refunds. We will be processing refunds for programs and offerings at the school for which we collected money, but for which no costs were incurred by the school. That includes things like Pizza Monday pre-registrations. We will provide full refunds for those. Or for some or all participation fees in certain athletics, where we were able to have part of a season, you will receive a part refund. If there was no season, you will receive a full refund. But as for tuition at the school, our teachers are working hard, maybe harder than they even did before, providing exceptional value. We're going to ask you to ask for financial aid if you need help there. We're not providing refunds for April and May tuition. Talk to us, we'll see what we can do. Okay, well, it's Teacher Appreciation Week. And so we want to say thank you, teachers. We love you. We know that you're putting in early mornings, late nights. Families, please do what you can to connect with them and express gratitude. This morning, one of our teachers, Mr. Crossley, he sang this hymn to us, How Gentle God's Commands. I'm going to read just the verses to you. It's short, but powerful and applicable to us now. Hymn number 125. How gentle God's commands, how kind His precepts are. Come cast your burdens on the Lord and trust His constant care. Beneath His watchful eye, His saints securely dwell. That hand which bears all nations up shall guard His children well. Why should this anxious load press down your weary mind? Haste to your heavenly Father's throne and sweet refreshment find. His goodness stands approved, unchanged from day to day. I'll drop my burdens at His feet and bear a song away. We love you, AHS families. We miss you. We're looking forward to seeing you around the virtual campus and as soon as we can, back on our physical campus. We'll see you around. Thanks, everyone. Stick around for these videos.
Hi, my name's Eden, and I'd like to talk to you about how COVID-19 is affecting Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong, the number of cases is inching towards 130.
The influx of people could lead to a community outbreak and paralyze the city's medical system.
So I came back to Hong Kong around 10 days ago. I really came back mostly because the COVID situation in America has just started to pop off.
Cases of COVID-19 in the U.S. now tops 83,000, more than have been recorded in China or Italy.
There have been quite a few changes to my life, other than having to go to school at 1 in the morning and also having to do classes through Zoom. The biggest change in my life has come from one of these bracelets.
The bracelets resemble the hospital bracelets. It contains a QR code that pairs up with a smartphone app which uses the strength of surrounding communication signals like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and GPS to determine whether the quarantined person has left the prescribed location.
I also have this booklet that they gave me. I have to put my temperature in this every day. Yeah, and I haven't had a fever. I'll tell you more about the bracelet later. How about I show you the view? I don't live near the ground because land prices are way too expensive. So instead, we live in the skies, and here's the view. And I can see all my neighbors over there. Also, we have this membrane thing separating me from the rest of my family, because our home quarantines are pretty strict about not having any contact with anyone. Anyway, let me show you the view outside. You might not be able to tell from this footage, but there's actually very little people out there. The amount of cars down there is not representative of how many people are actually out there, because usually there are way more cars out there. As to whether or not these bracelets are the most effective way to keep someone quarantined is debatable. My bracelet has actually started to fade. In fact, it started to fade about 3 days into the quarantine program, which means I can't actually scan the QR code on my bracelet. The app isn't the hardest to trick. You can actually change the time zone setting in your phone, and it would switch the alarm settings in the app so it would buzz you according to that time zone. Other ways to trick the system is to, when they ask for your verification, just close the app and no one does anything. Putting aside all those flaws, I'm still gonna keep the home quarantine. Just because the system is poor at tracking me doesn't mean I'm not going to control myself and stay home. But anyway, that is all I have to say, and this is Eden from AHS Global signing off.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mrs. Anderson. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha, ooh-la-la. Cut the cake and say hi-ya. I love that Mrs. Anderson is loving and kind, and she's my teacher. Mrs. Anderson is nice and she has good stories. Mrs. Anderson, I love your hug so much. She's nice and kind and a good storyteller. What I love most about Mrs. Anderson is that she's nice and she loves me. Mrs. Anderson's kind and she's a good teacher. Mrs. Anderson, I love your stories and I miss you. Happy birthday, Mrs. Anderson. I miss you and I miss giving you hugs and being in the classroom. Happy birthday. Thank you for telling your stories and thank you for teaching me how to read. I like you that you're nice and I like you that you're kind. I love all of your pretty dresses that you wear each day, and I'm really surprised when you wore that cheetah spotted one. I love Mrs. Anderson because she's my teacher and she's nice. I love Mrs. Anderson because she's nice and she makes learning fun and she's the best. I miss being with her and hugging her before I go to recess. I like that you have surprises and I like you because you're nice. I love how creative she is and I love her stories. I think Mrs. Anderson is so nice and I miss her stories. And I really miss doing crafts with you and I really miss doing devotional with you. Happy birthday. She's kind of funny. She tells us a bunch of jokes sometimes and reads us books and helps us with our math. Happy birthday. When I get in trouble with another teacher, she still be kind to me. I miss that I can't give you hugs right now. You always are reading us a story and you have a good smile. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mrs. Anderson. Happy birthday to you.